Although the rivalry between the Wolverines and Spartans provide most of the headlines in the state, there's another annual college football battle in Michigan that has almost as much history. Separated by roughly 134 miles, a 2.5-hour drive for fans, Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo and Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, this Mid-American Conference rivalry has been going on since the early 1900s. There's so much animosity between the CHIPPEWAs and the Broncos that it makes for a perfect deep dive on this edition of Stadium Rivals. Central Michigan hosted the first game in this showdown in 1907 against what was known then as Western State Normal School. That game ended in a 29-0 drubbing by Western State, a pattern that would continue. Check out this dominance. In the first 27 showdowns from 1907 to 1952, Western went 24-1, holding Central scoreless on 15 different occasions. The combined score in those 27 games, 539 to 140. In the 1953 game, Central Michigan got a measure of revenge and would begin to make a name for themselves in the rivalry. They gave Western a taste of their own medicine, winning 21-0 in 53, the start of a 4-game win streak. The rivalry between Western and Central became an annual matchup in 1973 when Western won 18-13. By 1975, both teams were members of the MAC, making this an annual interconference battle. And although the Broncos lead the all-time series, since both became Division I teams in 1975, Central Michigan has held a 27-16-1 edge going into 2019. In 2000, the Chippewas were on a 7-game losing streak and sat at 1-8. Western Michigan was 8-1 and had hopes of cracking the top 25. With 10.5 minutes left to play, Western was up 17-14. But on Central's next drive, the Chippewas burned up almost 6 minutes on a 14-play, 71-yard scoring drive that sealed the victory. The huge upset went to CMU 21-17. The Michigan Sports Hall of Fame created the first of 2 trophies in this rivalry, the Michigan MAC Trophy in 2005. Western and Central compete with Eastern Michigan University, the 3 Michigan MAC schools, for this trophy. It's presented to the team with the best record against the other 2. In the event of a tie, the previous year's winner claims the title. Did you know that J.J. Watt played in this rivalry? The Houston Texans' 3-time Defensive Player of the Year actually was a tight end for the Chippewas for one season in 2007. In the game against Western that year, won by Central 34-31, he caught 1 pass for 8 yards. In his lone season at CMU, he pulled in 8 catches for 77 yards and 0 TDs. A position change and a transfer to Wisconsin molded Watt into the NFL All-Pro he is today. In 2008, the Cannon Trophy was introduced to go to the winner of this annual battle. Cannons are fired at CMU's Kelly Short Stadium and WMU's Waldo Stadium after scores, so the inclusion of this prize makes sense. Both student governments collaborated on the trophy. One side of the wood statue is maroon and lists each of CMU's victories over the Broncos. The opposite side is brown and notes all of the Broncos' victories. On to that first trophy game in 2008. Antonio Brown may be the best football player to ever suit up for Central Michigan. In his best game against WMU, Brown caught 10 passes for 113 yards and completed a 2-yard pass for a TD. Central won the game 38-28, becoming the first team to take home the Cannon Trophy. CMU scored 21 unanswered points to grab its first rivalry win since 2013, 35-28 back in 2017. After the game, Central Michigan coach John Bonamego's wife, Paulette, posted this tweet of the head coach sleeping with the victory cannon, saying, "Wasn't much room in our bed last night." Western Michigan early, Central Michigan of late. That's how it's gone in the annual showdown between these Michigan schools. Western leads the all-time series 49-38-2 heading into 2019, but Western Michigan has the edge in the modern era. While it may not have the same name and fan recognition as Michigan and Michigan State, the bad blood between these two is palpable, especially locally. It makes WMU-CMU one of the best in the MAC as we break down the best in college football on Stadium Rivals.